This qualifying recap is brought to you by Smart Sanitizer. Hashtag Think Smart.
You see JC leaning on the fender of the Snap-on car. He's making his final adjustment. Ron Cass is going to be able to make the run. Now let's find out if the car was okay. Obviously, they didn't feel comfortable with it. They wouldn't send it. But that was way out of the ordinary. Cap drives his way into smoke. 387. Cruz drives his way to the top. 326 miles an hour. Cruz Pedregon goes right to the number one spot. 3.875. 326 miles an hour. Cap smokes the tires. Got over out of the groove down there when it started spinning the wheels and pushed him to the right. He'll stand on his 389 from earlier. But for Cruz Pedregon, 3.13 seconds at the 8th mile. I think JC and the boys got, well, if not all of it, they got a lot of it from this year. From top to bottom, and he comes into the countdown, the number one seed.
Oh, 334, good job.
334 miles an hour with the sun out. Wow. Steve goes 3.804 at 266 miles an hour. That thing obviously hurt itself before it got to the finish line. Check out the numbers. 816 at 60 feet. 2.94 seconds, 295 miles an hour at the 8th mile. 3.660. That's even quicker than last night, Jason.
You're good.
Oh, yeah. Louisiana. He was actually running 3 classes in Indy, which you're not allowed to do unless you're Aaron Stansfield. We have special rules just for Aaron Stansfield. Technically, he was running 1 car in the JAGS All-Stars and 2 different cars in the U.S. Nationals. He was not allowed to enter the U.S. Nationals with the 3rd car because, well, that would be against the rules. Watch the Penske side of the racetrack, 6.524, 209.56, and Erica goes to the number one spot. Aaron Stansfield slides right in behind her, 6.534, 209.88. That's Erica number 1. Aaron number 2. Dallas Glenn, that's the number 1 for a minute. He's all of a sudden 3rd. Top speed is meet, by the way, still Mason McGahey from yesterday at 210 miles an hour. Yep, weather a little bit better out there. Car's picking up a little bit of performance out there. We're not done yet. Angelle in the right. Mission Cruz, Vance and Hines, 1 for 4 Val Suzuki, 1 for B&H, 160 powered Buell. Yesterday they were 2,000ths of a second apart. Angelle 104 at 60 feet. 674. 196 miles an hour. Angelle was already number 1, and like Larry Dixon once so famously said, you can't be one-er, but she did stretch herself out from the pack by a couple hundredths of a second. Eddie goes 6.803 at 201 miles an hour. So Angelle's going to stay number 1. Eddie's going to stay number 2, but she just put a little extra space between herself and the rest of the field. Kelly Klontz can end up in the number 16 spot with 2 down and 1 to go. 15 is Karen Gopher. Gianna Salinas is 14. Clay Milliken is number 1 right now as the final 2 top fuel cars. 1 and 2 in the countdown to the championship. Stage up. 3.666. How about 335 miles an hour for Brittany Force as she goes to the number 1 spot. Steve goes 369, right with the rest of them. And he ends up in the number 2 position. But Brittany, 366, 335 miles an hour. That would be a new track speed record.
That is just nasty. At the 8th mile, 2.948 seconds, 296 miles an hour. We get a look again at the replay. This is epic top fuel drag racing here, side by side. header flames to the wing, and it's just picture perfect if you're Brittany Force. Jason Galvin, how's it look down there at the starting line?
Well, I'm with David Grubnick.
Yells over there to take 60 pounds of what is normally humanity in the scene, move it around in the race car to balance it out again, has been big-time stuff. It bared out in test. We'll see if it bears out here.
Why doesn't it have to sit on it back to left? And just like that, 388, 330 miles an hour for Robert, 389, 333 miles an hour for Tommy. Hey, Maple Grove, do me a favor, huh? How about it for those two teams, side by side, 330 plus mile an hour runs, side by side, 380s. That was fun.
That was absolutely fun. That was high entertainment. We get another look at it here in the NHRA.TV instant replay. We watch the cars leave, and the most important thing we're going to see here is 16 cylinders all working in demonic harmony.
DJ is the guy they're chasing now, and here comes a couple of KD fielders. The star-spangled red, white, and blue Lucas Oil car for Kid Chaos. Of course, his dad, Kenny Koretsky, that would be the captain of Chaos, and he still holds that title. The kid, solid driver in his own right. I think one of the most interesting things about that is that when he told his dad, I want to race pro stock, his dad said, okay, here's your checklist.
Yeah.
You make this stuff happen, and then we'll see about putting it together. And he definitely showed his dedication.
And we're talking life changers. We're not talking like take out the garbage. We're talking about like you have to lose. You know, he's a big guy. He lost a lot of weight, got himself very fit. You know, and his dad said, hey, if you're going to drive one of these cars, testament to her dedication to the Vance & Hines team. And Mission Foods is her sponsor because her area was hit very hard by Hurricane Ida. Ryan Ayler from Bloomington, Illinois, rolls his orange and black bike to the starting line.
Ayler's going to start the countdown to the number 6 spot, the high-performance lubricants bike. And this is a guy that does all of his own R&D, all of his own engine work out of their shop up in Illinois. I loved his attitude. When he won down in Vegas, went by and talked to him, and ran very well down there. He said, hey, we didn't come here to make friends. We came here to win races, and we intend to do so. And Angelle, after all that fight to get out of Louisiana, went all the way to the final round out there at Indy, where she got spray wings. That's the word.
2 finals in a row. Now we're talking. Angelle's got the best 60. She goes past the 8th mile to 162, and Angelle stops the clock. 6:76.1, 198.85, eclipsing even your best guess.
Well, come on, 9,000ths of a second. You wouldn't even make a guess. Ryan goes 6:92 at 194.49. When you look at that 60-foot time, and it is 1.04 on a Pro Stock motorcycle, that's getting it.
It really is, and that's really, I think, what both...
Competition Plus is your go-to source for the latest in drag racing news. For over 20 years, CompetitionPlus.com has provided news you can trust, thoroughly researched and delivered as quick and fast as it can be uploaded. Whether it's nitro or stock, drag radial or pro modified, our writers are trained to bring you the inside story time and time again. We have it all from in-depth news articles to the latest in high-performance products to the scuttlebutt making its way around the pits. Original video content from the stars in drag racing also makes CompetitionPlus.com the ultimate one-stop shop for die-hard drag racing fans. Don't make CompetitionPlus.com your only stop on the information superhighway. Make it your first. For news you can trust and have trusted for 20 years, visit CompetitionPlus.com. Be sure to download our mobile app. It's a free download on the Apple Store and Google Play.